ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. One thing is path to God. How to transcend this nature and go beyond is one aspect of our life. Another aspect of life is there in which we have a participation in the society where we are living. What is that you are going to give to this world? The society in which you are living, your life is sustained in every respect, especially in the modern times, by the society. Whether it is the specs that I wear, or the shoe that I wear, or the food that I eat, everything comes from the society, and somebody is putting their efforts and doing. In return, what are you going to do? Give. So this aspect of one is realization of God, my individual. Other part is my giving to the world and my activities. So in our life, we will have three distinct awarenesses. One awareness is of the divine awareness. This will be constantly moving divine awareness. I might have told this earlier also, but more times you hear, it will become your own, this understanding. One is the awareness of divine. How to hold on to the divine. Divine, when we say, it is eternal, unchanging reality, a ocean of bliss, peace, and love, absolute. Absolute means it is the ultimate and there is no variations in it. And divine is where all differences dissolve. No differences between man and man, between matter and spirit. All these differences dissolve. Everything is divine. The moment you see, come into the divine awareness or spiritual awareness, all dualities is just a variety of the same thing in different ways of expression. I am a person. I express myself in various ways. I am one Vyakti, one individual, and I manifest like that. Divine manifests in various forms, in various ways, and we call it universe and living beings in it. So this divine awareness, the divinity that pervades everything and stands beyond and has become itself all that what exists, we call divine, the God. This awareness to be in the background when you are in activity, to be in the front when you are free from all activities. So this awareness must continue at all times. Here we use logic, reasoning, and because it has to be sustained through and through, heart also is involved. My heart is going to love God in any of the aspect. It doesn't matter with form or without form or anything. But you must know it is divine, it is eternal, it is unchanging, which is come in the form of your Ishtadevata. It is one of the aspects of the unchanging eternal reality appearing to you because of your bhavana. It is manifesting in that form. So, in any way you can hold on to the divine in the vast existence. And here we use not only logic and reasoning, to identify that, and what scripture says, understand, and with clarity, with concretely, you imagine it and understand it. Apart from that, you link your heart to it. All the three, reasoning, logic, and heart will be there in holding on to the divine at all times. If you continue throughout the day, in and through all activities, it will continue through the night when you sleep, and it enters into the deep sleep also, where no other thoughts remain. A thought of the divine continues because it belongs to the transcendental which pervades all the three layers. Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti also it pervades. Any thought of the world within the time and space will dissolve away at the subtle. In the causal, it dissolves in the absolute. But a thought of the divine continues independently in the deep sleep also. And makes you merge in the everyday Vishwa Chaitanya. From there, this the second layer of our existence is at the heart level. This heart level is how you are related to this world and the community in which you live. Now we are in the ashrama as ashramites. So many ashrama all have renounced and come. Some as volunteers come and stay. Some who have renounced and living as vanaprasthis are there. How do you live with them? In a compatible way, loving each other, sacrificing for each other, feeling concern about each other. Here, the heart alone, there is no logic and reasoning. Logic and reasoning comes, then there will be parting from each other. Because I see ragadvesha and hold on to that ragadvesha and make the others my object of ragadvesha. Here we see we don't differentiate. Here the level of the heart, I live with the world and with the society in which I am living, with the nation, with the world, with humanity. Is this my relationship? Heart level. One is awareness level, where brain, that is reasoning, intellect, and heart are concerned. Here only heart, no reasoning. I love, I sacrifice, that's all. No expectations, no demands, no preferences. Only give love. Then the third layer of activity. One is the divine awareness, one is the heart level, your relationship with the external world, and the third is activity, you are doing work. You have to work intensely, as much as possible physically, to bring your awarenesses, what you have attained in your life, through understanding, it must be translated at the heart level and at the activity level for the next door to open. Otherwise, you'll be going in merry-go-round, getting up every day morning, doing the same thing, no elevation. The spiral of elevation doesn't come. The spiral of elevation must come. It comes only when the base expands. You cannot reach higher heights of a building without expanding the base. This expansion of base comes through activity. Expansion of heart comes through love without any expectations. And whatever you have gained as knowledge, just knowledge, understanding, also has to be done. Then finally, getting accumulated a particular level of expansion, there is an opening. You enter into spiritual world. With the spiritual awakening, this awakening will not be possible if your heart doesn't expand and if your activities do not become without any intention of selfishness or out of ragadvesha, attachments and aversions. It is just giving. Activity is activity for activity's sake, not out of any intention behind. So I translate now. Am Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. Then there is another aspect. I am Atma Brahma. This person is also Brahma. Same thing, what you are experiencing yourself, identifying yourself, he is also there. And Tattvamasi, you are also there as the Brahman. Now, this identity, if you are identifying with a particular thing, know that other person is ours. When you work, you see that you are able to see that Aham Brahmasmi in him and do the service. So activities, any activity should be free from selfishness, self-interest and self-centered living. Then it is a activity and it is becoming base for your higher realizations. Most of the sadhakas, they live at an imaginary state they create and start dwelling in it. No actual realizations because heart has not expanded. When we understand the suffering of mankind, our own brethren suffering, can I keep quiet? Can I close my eyes and sleep at peace? So much of wars are going on, so much of suffering, nature's calamities are going on. Some people are millions of people are without food, millions of people are without education, millions are without health. Just think of them. Can you get sleep if you are concerned, if you have concern for others? No, you can't. This heart expansion we need. In any of your activities, does ego project forward? The enjoyer, the doer, and the knower, does he project forward? In any of the activity I am doing is there. This is, I want to enjoy this, so I am doing is there. I out of revenge, out of challenge, am I doing? Or out of humility, for the sake of others, am I working? So this egoless humility, purity, purpose, the intention of everyone's welfare. If it is bad, then this is the thing we need. 3 awarenesses, one of the divine awareness, one at the heart level, to be one with all beings, and intense activity for the welfare of all others or for the sake of divine. No I anywhere. So these 3 awarenesses we have to cultivate, and what happens? One day, as you expand at the base, as you expand at the heart level, this year your spiritual heights goes on in the spiral way to expand and go beyond. One day you will see that it has opened the roof and is projecting out, just like a seed put in the earth. How it germinates, slowly lifts that earth surface and projects out. Like that you project into the eternal existence. You are spiritually awakened. We are physically awake and spiritually sleeping. Spiritually you get awakened. This awakening, it is what is expected of us. Sri Ramakrishna's whole thing is transcend the nature. Turn it to God, attain God, and be free. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna's one important, hold on to any path, hold on to any religion, finish up this task. This diversity in path, just like we say biodiversity, diversity in path to God, path diversity and religious diversity. religious diversity. So many religions, so many ways of approaching God. Welcome, welcome. Whatever you are interested, whatever you can, whatever we are born with, go ahead and finish this great task of going beyond the nature and reaching the eternal. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna, you are merchants. You know how to improve the business gradually. Some of you start with castor oil factory. After making some money at that, you open up cloth shop. In the same way, one makes progress towards God. It may be that you go into solitude now and then and devote more time to prayer. How beautifully he presents, you see. How example, uh, in those days, the cheapest factory with which you can begin your own business is castor oil. Castor oil was being extensively used for cooling down the system. If you put a spoon on your head, you will see your eyes are becoming uh, so much cool. You put here, anybody can try and experience. Is that they rub at the feet, just a few drops, and the whole system changes. Every week they take a spoon. Once heavy purging will be there, the whole stomach gets cleaned. So this was used, and almost every house that castor oil will be there. Even in our younger days, in childhood days, it used to be there. Now it is almost obsolete, as if that process and that use is gone away. And it needs only one pestle and mortar, wooden pestle and wooden mortar. And it is tied to a ox, and which runs round, goes on walking all day. Put the castor seeds, take out the oil and sell. So this it costs nothing. Everybody has some animal at home, cattle, especially cattle, that can be used for leisure hours, or sometimes it can be used for taking out the oil. So you see that it is very cheapest one, just a wooden pestle and wooden mortar. And in home itself, in the backyard, you can have just put a shed of grass and bamboo, sufficient. There they begin the business and go ahead. Make a little money and cloth shop, which needs a higher way of living, higher way of presentation. The people must get attracted. The whole thing must be very smart. The way in which we talk, this, that, present things, all that counts. No, how they progress. Same way, spiritual life also. With little beginning, 15 minutes sitting in the morning, calmly thinking of God and not to think of anything else. Drop away the past, drop away the future, drop away the present. Be as just like a newborn baby, without any labeling of this world, without any thoughts, without any feelings. Just a newborn, in the nascent jiva. With that, you think of God. Just a few minutes in the beginning. Then slowly develop to continue it as long as you can by doing the activities. Sitting is only continuous, but can you maintain the same awareness, same feelings throughout the day? So slowly extend it. Now and then you'll totally forget, because forgetting is nature of jiva. Vismarana. Vismarana is jiva's bhava. So that again you'll remind, oh, how did I forget God? How did I forget God? I have duties to perform. I must perform it without forgetting God. So this continues. This continues. So here we see it is being absorbed. So he expands the time, some small sitting for few minutes, and he gets charged, he changes his paradigm inner, and he extends while in activity, while moving, while doing exercises, while taking bath. Every time he is engaged. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna asking to go stage by stage, step by step towards the realization, because sudden transformation is not possible and it is not healthy also. Leave everything and go and sit. No, it's not possible. We cannot leave anything till we enter into ecstatic state of love, when God takes all the responsibility and He starts working. Till that time, we cannot devote our all, but we can drag God into every aspect of our life, every dealings, every transaction, every relationship. I can do everything in the background of the divine, and divine permeating it, and divine not only permeating but also is projecting himself there. One makes progress towards God. It may be that you go and enter into solitude. Now I am busy with things. Now, if I get a little taste, then he silently, he wants to stealthily go and sit. As he is going into ekanta, for few minutes, he is getting 15 minutes in between. He wants to spend in the company of God. And that 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes that he wants to spend, just to move away from all things. Go to a corner, just sit there. See the divine in your heart. The image of your Ishtadevata, who is all pervading, who is there in all hearts, is shining within your heart. At the same time, he is pervading the universe also. That feeling, that development. This is how we progress. That apart from 15 minutes, he is spending just 10 minutes in solitude. Because in solitude, now in the world, the little division is there. Some small energy is looking after the external things. Knowingly or unknowingly, likes and dislikes appear because of the past. We are not realized souls to remain absolutely uninvolved. We get involved in spite of all our efforts. We get involved. When we go to the solitude, it's purely private relationship with God, where there is no disturbance, and I can interfere with God deeply and intimately. Intimacy develops in ekanta, in solitude. Our relationship may fasten us, we may become more and more deeper in relationship, but atmiyata, the closeness, the intimacy develops when you are in ekanta, freely. Then devote more time for prayer. Prayer is a thing in which you are getting intimately related to God. And in prayer, I am directly in contact with God. I am praying. In prayer, mind doesn't go anywhere. In trying to do japa, mind may run away, leaving the speech, that is mantra, utterance of mantra, and the memory connecting. The mind may run away somewhere. You are doing japa and mind is somewhere else. So this is possible. And when you're trying to meditate, now and then you see that suddenly mind goes away, it takes up a link and wanders so many places, and by the time you come back, the time is over, what you have decided. So this mind may go anywhere during worship, it may go away. During the work and activities for the sake of God only. I have to arrange for puja, I have to bring flowers. During that, mind may go away. I may be, without awareness of the divine, I may be plucking flowers and bringing for worship. But when I am doing prayer, my mind cannot go anywhere. I am praying to God, I am talking to you. I cannot forget you. Like that, go speaking to God, offering prayers or praises in front of God. That your mind is not going anywhere. It is stationarily sitting at the feet of God. There is a more devote, more prayer, time for prayer. We have plenty of time. Every day, 24 hours, we don't work. If you calculate the whole day, what all I did today from morning 6 to next day morning 6, how did I spend this 24 hours if you see? Most of the time is gone wasted. I have not done anything. Neither thought of God nor thought of the world. Whatever I thought is not concerned about me. So much of time. And that time, this goes on being utilized little by little. When you enter into love with God and when intimacy starts developing, most of the time is being spent in the thought of the divine. So, but you must remember that Sri Ramakrishna is continuing. But you must remember that nothing can be achieved except in proper time. Mali sinche saugata rutu aaye phala hoye. A tree or plant, all seasons he is watering it, but only when the season of its flowering, season of yielding fruit comes, then only to keep it survive, keep it active, he is doing all things, but it ends at one time, and fruits come at that time. Now, Sri Ramakrishna says, when mother hen keeps an egg, it sits on it, waits for the inner growth to take place. The inner growth is slow but very systematic. When the growth is complete, mother understands the cheek is fully grown now and decides, yes, it is a time I to open. And it just taps and the cheek comes out. If it taps a day before also, the cheek is alive but is not able to move. Life has come into it. It cannot eat also. To that weakness it will be there. It exactly knows when to break open the inner. So who decides in our case is Mother Nature. Nature knows when she has to give me what kind of experience. One small experience, worldly experience may be needed to go towards the divine. If she makes you finish that, and then there will be spiritual awakening. Niranjanam nityamanantarupam भक्तानुकम्पा धृतविग्रहं वै ईशावतारं परमेशमीड्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामि।